Hi, thanks for joining. My name's Rob, and today I'm going to be taking you through the Layers panel, the Visibility settings, and the Size and Position panel in Flexitive. Now, what I've got here is just a simple Flexitive design. I've got a 16 by 9 build and a 9 by 16. I'm going to jump into the 16 by 9 and start off by talking about the Layers panel. Now, the Layers panel is where in Flexitive you can see all of the different layers that are on your particular design. So for example, here I've got a couple images, a couple pieces of text, a global asset in this nested page, as well as a background image here. Now, if you want to reorder a layer, all you need to do so is simply grab that out layer and then drag and drop it to where in the panel you want it to go. So for example, I've used the background image layer here to make it really clear that it's currently covering these three other elements. But I can also use these bring forward, send to bottom options here if I'd like to adjust the layer order. Now, you'll notice that in the Layers panel, there's this canvas background option here, and this one's a little bit special. So I'm going to resize my background layer here to make it a little bit smaller than the actual canvas. You'll see I've just got a standard white color as my background right now. If I want to set an image as the background layer, all you need to do is simply drag and drop it to that canvas background section. And you'll see that the image is going to become both the bottom layer of the design and it's going to expand out to completely fill the canvas. And that just very quickly is a way to make a single element your background layer. Now, in addition to being able to control the layer order in the Layers panel, you're also able to see layers that are hidden. So in this design, I have a 16 by 9 and a 9 by 16, and in each one of those sizes, I have a different logo. In this version, I have this landscape version, but in the 9 by 16, I actually have a portrait version of that logo, and I've hidden it on the two different sizes with a logo that I don't need. So what I'm going to do is just toggle Show Hidden Layers on. And you're going to see that this Adaptive Bean Coffee Co. logo that is the more portrait version starts to appear on our screen. You can see in the Layers panel it is there as well. It's just been struck through with this eye so that you can see that it's hidden and it's grayed out just to kind of indicate that. Now, by showing it in this way, it's very easy to make it so that you can make edits to that layer even though it's hidden on this size, and that can include even making that layer visible again. So a really useful tool with the Show Hidden Layers toggle. Now, staying on the topic of visibility, there are two different ways that you can there are a couple different ways, that you can hide an element. So the first one is in the Layers panel, you'll see that there's this eye icon. And say, for example, I wanted to take this premium roast coffee cup and hide it on this size. All you need to do is simply click on the eye icon, and you'll see it disappear. Now, it's been removed from the Layers panel, it's been removed from my canvas, but that's not to say that it's completely gone. This is something that you can change if you'd like. So if I toggle Show Hidden Layers back on, I can always just click on the eye again and it'll appear again. You can also do this using the visibility settings in the right-click menu. So you can choose to show it on all sizes, hide it, show it only on portrait, show it only on landscape, show it only on this size, or you can even hide it on this size if you'd like from within here. And these options also exist within the Size and Position panel. So you'll see the Visibility on Sizes section here. You'll be able to choose any of those options in here as well. So all sizes, only portrait, only landscape, this size, and show or hide on this size. Now, in addition to being able to control the visibility of an element, you can also change the position and size of that element as well. So right now, I'm going to be using this coffee cup as an example. And of course, if you want to reposition or resize, you can always simply drag or drop the element around on the canvas. But there's also the Size and Position panel on the left-hand side navigation, and I wanted to quickly take you through that. Now, the first setting that I wanted to focus on is this Position in Element setting. You'll see right now for an image, the two options are Fit as well as Fill and Crop. And for those two options, you can see that if it's set to Fit, the element is always going to be contained within the bounding box. No matter how I resize it, it's always contained in the bounding box and it always maintains its aspect ratio. Now, I can change this if I'd like. I can just use this Fill and Crop option. You'll see it expands out a little bit. And as I resize the element now, it's always going to be forced to stay within the bounding box and it will crop the image as necessary. You can also see that there's this zoom option when I turn Fill and Crop on. If I use that zoom option, I can zoom in on a particular part of the image and then use the focus point to choose what part I'm looking at. I'm going to change the zoom back to 100%, just set it to fit now quickly. I do believe that this is the correct way to display it. You do also have the option to use these flip options. So you can either flip your element horizontally, you can also flip it vertically, then you can undo it just by clicking the elements as well. So really quickly you can flip your elements in here. Now, you'll notice that there's also these options for image size as well as element size. Now, the difference between these two options are what they are actually representing. So for the image size, it's actually the size of the image within the bounding box. So you'll see that as I resize the image, both of these settings are going to change, but in one case, the width and the height will represent the actual size of this image, and the element size is going to represent the width and the height of the bounding box itself. So rather than showing these two as the same thing, we do have the two different options in the panel. One final option you do have is the element position. So you can either set a specific position using the X and Y options here, or I can use these alignment options. So align left, align right. I can align it to the middle of the canvas or the center if I'd like, all within this canvas. One final setting, you do have access to the opacity in here, so I can just adjust the opacity to make it either completely transparent, completely opaque, or anything in between. Now, one final aspect of the size and position that I wanted to touch on briefly is this width and height percentage. Now, we are currently working in a 16:9 responsive canvas, which means everything is going to be displayed to us as a percentage of the canvas. If you are working in a fixed size canvas, by comparison, these percentages will be replaced by pixels. So for example, if I jump into my Create/Sizes view and I jump over to Fixed, and then from here I activate, say for example, a 1920 by 1080p size, you'll be able to see if I select the exact same element, the size and position are going to now be represented by their pixel size and their pixel location. So just a slight difference between the two of them, just based on the type of canvas that you're working on. And that's everything I was looking to chat about regarding the size, position, visibility, and layers settings in Flexitive today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining and have a great day.